The number one biggest one I always see now is people and just hiring incorrectly. I cannot emphasize this enough that 1% of startups will succeed, and maybe another 4% will get to certain levels of success, like Series B, Series C. But 95 are just, they're not going to make it. And a lot of them might even be fraudulent, like they have no business doing it. But who am I to judge? Like, hey, if you're trying, great, good for you. But to get in that 1%, you have to have so many things work in your favor. And the last thing you want to do is shoot yourself in the foot. And I see this all the time, which is you have to be self-aware of knowing what type of talent can you realistically attract. And then work to get the highest level of talent that you could possibly attract, like in terms of like an A-level player for that position. And then the higher that position's role is, the more important you should invest in spending extra dollars to get that A player versus being cheap, because your most expensive line item on the P&L is typically going to be your people. And so that's where you should invest your money versus trying to cut corners. So again, I see oftentimes people hiring incorrectly, and they'll, when you're behind closed doors with your team, you're going to think, oh, this is the best product ever. But until you get out of the market and you see if customers actually want to buy and you go through the challenges of getting it across the table, you're not going to truly know. And so what happens is people will build this, beautiful Excel sheet and say, hey, if we hire 3 headcount in this, then it'll equal X amount of sales. It doesn't work. If you don't hire the right people, none of it's going to work. All I see is just people hire incorrectly. And then once they hire incorrectly, they spend time, training that person or lack of. And then what ends up happening is when that person doesn't ramp up, now they either hope and pray that they somehow will turn it around and they just keep dragging their feet until they let them go a year or two later, or they let them go and now you're back to square one 9 months, 12 months later, and then you've lost opportunity cost.